So this has pretty good reviews. Great idea, broken by 5,800 song limit. You'd think they wouldn't let that slip. What's up everybody, it's FiiO X again today. Today I'm going to review the FiiO X1. I found this product on Amazon and it happens to be the best thing that I could find for under $100. People say it's a pretty good player, but let's put it to the test and find out. Now this review is just to kind of cover the basics of this player. It's not going to cover something like the in-depth audio quality compared to other players. I'm just going to cover build quality, some features, and how useful I think it is. And maybe a bit about some reviews. The player comes with a plastic casing, which is pretty awesome, but it is a little bit rigid, so just be careful not to break it, as you could see like I did here. Oops. And here's the player itself. I already applied the wooden skin that it comes with. But I did leave the rubber wheel exposed. They do give you the option to cover this in the package, but I decided not to. Also included is the American flag skin and the carbon fiber black skin. Just keep in mind, this is going to attract a lot of dust and hair, so it's not going to look fantastic for a long time. Okay, let's talk about settings and options. You can manually update your library here. If it's not showing up at the music section, you might want to do this. And here you can choose which buttons are locked when the screen is off. You can have the play button, the forward button, and the back button all enabled when the screen is off. Just the play button, or you can have everything but the volume keys off. Here you can choose screen timeout. I recommend the lowest setting to save battery. And your screen brightness is here. You also have a sleep timer. And you can choose between headphones or line output mode, which is great if you have an external amplifier or would like to use it in the car and not have to worry about controls on the player. And you can choose between 6 different themes. And with this option, if your headphones have a control in the middle of the cord, you can choose between play, pause, next track, and volume control. If you want the files to show the file name or the title of the song, you can do so with that option, and reset your whole library if needed. There's also an option to format the storage, so if you have any issues, you can do so. The build quality on this player is exceptional. The player uses a rubber mechanical wheel for navigation, the buttons are all metal and very firm to operate, and the wheel has a great feel to it as well. I find that the first gen player has a better wheel compared to the second gen because it's a lot less sensitive, much faster, and is also a lot easier to control. The whole body on this thing is made out of aluminum, and I find that it's very similar to an iPod in feel, but it's a little bit thicker and the buttons operate a lot differently. You'll see they put a lot of effort into the design of this thing, and I think everything about this player looks great. The volume keys are very easy to find if you're not looking at them, and they also feel very sturdy as well. There is a well-built micro USB charging port and a very nice looking SD card slot. Now for the skins that it comes with, it's very important that you take a little paperclip and poke out the reset hole on the side, because if you don't, then you're going to end up with a piece of vinyl stuck inside the reset hole, and that's not a good thing. So it doesn't take too long to start up, and the start screen's pretty cool. It's not too fancy, but who cares? Now you can expand the storage on this thing with a micro SD card, and they say 128 gigs is the maximum, but you can add usually more than what they say. Just look at the reviews if you're not sure. Scrolling on this thing is really quick. I find it easy to get through long lists of files or menus or whatever without any trouble at all. The screen could be a little bit brighter. I do have a problem with that because outside it's really hard to see what's going on. And as you can see here, tracks on this player change really quick. With the screen on or off, they seem to change almost instantaneously. And as far as the headphone jack goes, it seems to have a really firm grip onto the headphones, which is great because you can pull this thing out of your pocket by the cord and not risk it falling off. Now the battery life on this thing is pretty good. They say 12 hours. I can kind of see that, but I haven't actually tested it because my lifestyle doesn't involve me listening to music for a very long time like that. There are a lot of music related settings as well as the system settings, so the battery life being less than, say a SanDisk or a Sony isn't really that big of a deal if you think about the other things that you get with this player. The customizable equalizer is a great thing to have, especially on a player that advertises to be a high quality audio player. I have tested lossless formats, but I generally don't listen to music that way. I just usually use MP3s and that's fine. So overall, I think this player is great for anybody who's looking for a high quality audio experience with some customizations and doesn't necessarily need a tremendous amount of battery life. The whole thing is high quality, expandable storage, and not too expensive if you think about it. FiiO does have your back for support, so if you run into problems, I would suggest you sign up to the forum, just let them know about it, and they'll usually email you or respond to you somehow, telling you, try this, try that, or we'll forward this information over to the engineers to figure out a software update. I am very satisfied with their customer service. So in closing, would I recommend this player? Yes, I think it's kind of just like an iPod, but it can be expanded and also doesn't cost nearly as much. So if you have a lot of music, like 128 gigs or more, I would recommend this player. If I had to guess what this thing's trying to compete with, I'd say the iPod Classic 160 gig, but I think it goes beyond that because having that SD card is a lot more power efficient, a lot less easy to wreck, a lot cheaper to fix, and also you don't have to use iTunes. It's time for reviews. So this has pretty good reviews. 3.9 out of 5 stars. Now the weird thing about this is they combine the second generation player and the first generation player reviews together in the same rating, which is kind of strange to me. I'll talk about the second gen player another time. There's some issues I have with that thing. Let's see, best portable music player I have ever owned. Great idea, broken by a 5,800 song limit. You think they wouldn't let that slip. Update, limit fixed. So what they're talking about here is FiiO on their website, they have a forum, and on that forum they release updates for firmware usually every month. The cool thing about FiiO is they actually engage the customers in their forum on their website. Not only are the products great, as far as I can tell, they actually ask the customers for feature requests, issues, and other input on their forum. This person says, perfection. Great player, the only thing that could be improved is the Bluetooth range and a few glitches. So like I said before, they put 2 product revisions on the same review page, which is really confusing because this person's talking about Bluetooth. This does not have Bluetooth. Dead on arrival, it will never boot up. As Fry from Futurama would say, these things happen. Very hard to move files from computer to player. And as a presidential candidate would say, wrong. If you guys have something on Amazon that you'd like me to review, just let me know. Thanks for watching. This is FiiO X. Have a good day.